Hey guys, this is Carrie with Soul Purpose Yoga and Wellness, and I decided to drop on my mat this morning, and we're just gonna do a nice little gentle flow. And so we're gonna start seated. I always sit on a blanket. I have a little bit of pelvic issues, so I like to have that stability, and I sit off on the edge. You can also do this with a soft block or a cork block, or some type of towel or blanket that you have at home. And so sitting up nice and tall, head over heart, heart over pelvis. We're gonna roll the shoulders up and back one time. Feel that nice opening through the clavicle, collarbone. Palms can be down, palms can be up. You can take Gyan Mudra, whatever feels best for you. And we're just gonna breathe. We're gonna keep that belly low, the breath low in the belly. The Dantian, 2 finger lengths below the navel. That houses our immune system. Dantian is traditional Chinese medicine language. Bellows breath is yoga breathing. So the chest and the shoulders stay nice and still, and we just keep that breath way down here. So we're gonna inhale and the belly bloats like a big balloon. And then exhale, bring that navel about 10% to the spine, so you don't wanna suck it in. Inhale. And exhale. And as you're doing this bellows breath, keep breathing. Increase the space between the ears and the shoulders. Chin parallel to the earth. Notice if you're holding on anywhere. Give your body permission to relax. Nice deep inhales through the nose, exhaling out the nose. And as you breathe here, just notice the qualities of the breath. Notice if the breath is flowing freely through the body. Perhaps it's getting caught or feeling jagged. Attaching no judgment. Just seeing if you can smooth out any jagged edges. Speaking to those parts of the body that may need a little bit more softening. Notice how the body feels. Let everything from the navel below be heavy, grounded, that pelvic bowl. Everything from the navel up, open, light, expansive, receptive. You can keep one hand on the belly now and one on the rib cage. And we're going to bring that breath up to the second hand and hold. And then we're going to breathe from the top to the bottom. So inhale, belly bloats. Feel the ribs expand. And then exhale from the ribs down into that lower belly. Inhale, belly bloats. Breath moves up to the ribs. 2-part breath. Exhale from the top. All the way back down. Couple more times here. Loosen that tongue in the mouth, relax the muscles of the face. One more cycle. I'll bring the hand that's on the ribs up to the chest. 3-part breath or Durga breath. Inhale from the belly, up through the ribs. all the way up to the chest. Exhale from the chest, down through the ribs, navel to spine. Keep going. You can take a little pause at the top and then exhale from the top to the bottom. Don't worry about following my breath. You're going to breathe at your own pace here. Spine is tall. Soften where you can. Take one more cycle of breath. Bring your hands into your lap. Notice how you feel. Now see if you can breathe like that throughout your practice. At first, you might feel like you have to pay a lot of attention to your breathing. Eventually, I promise it becomes second nature. We're slowly going to open the eyes, and we're going to take some movement. If you want to remove the blanket from underneath you, you can do that. Just put it off to the side. We're going to plant our palms down, and we're going to rotate to the right. Make these as big or as small as you like. This is one of my favorite ways to warm up the body. Torso rolls, or some people call them Sufi rolls. Working into those hips and the creative chambers of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. This should feel good. So if you're feeling any discomfort or pain, you might want to just make the circles a little bit smaller. We're going to come up with a nice tall spine. We're going to go to the left and we're going to make it bigger. So you're going to pretend like you're skimming your forehead across the floor in front of you. And again, if there's any pain or discomfort, make it smaller. And you want the tailbone, sits bones completely grounded behind you. So keep that connection with the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to take one more rotation here. And coming up nice and tall, we're going to take the fingertips out to the side. Inhale, reach up, look up, fingertips touch. Exhale, ground them down, shin to chest. Feel that nice stretch through the back of the head and neck. Inhale, reach. Really lengthen out of the waistline and exhale down. One more time. Exhale. This time we're going to inhale, reach. Keep space between the palms. And we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to take the back of the left hand across the right thigh. Right hand comes back behind you like a second spine. Inhale, grow nice and tall. We only twist on an exhalation. So on the exhale, we begin to twist. And as we hold here, we inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. Couple more breaths here. We're going to inhale, center. Exhale, opposite side. So the back of the right hand comes over the top of the left thigh. Left fingertips ground behind you. If you have longer arms, make a fist. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, take that twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Couple more cycles of breath here. We're going to inhale, center. We're going to exhale, cactus the arms, and take a nice heart opener here. Inhale, reach it up. And once again, so you're extending those elbows back behind you, shoulder blades drawing together. We're going to reach it up. And this time you're going to clasp your hands behind your back, open up through the shoulders. I'm going to turn this way so you can see how it looks. Open up, bring those fists down towards the earth. Maybe you look up or you look straight ahead. Squeeze those shoulders and shoulder blades together. Breathing in and breathing out. And then inhale, reach it up. And exhale, slice your hands down to your heart and just take a moment here. Notice how you feel. If you want, you can start to take some shoulder rolls forward. Again, one of my favorite ways just to wake up the body, move some energy around, and roll them back. Maybe make them bigger on the way back. Really bring those ears up towards the earlobes. And letting that go. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. Coming on to our hands and knees. We're going to come into our cat-cow. So you want your wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one straight line. And knees underneath the hips. Look between the knees. You shouldn't see the tops of the feet. We're going to inhale, navel dips, tailbone rises, heart presses forward, look up. Exhale, navel to spine, tailbone touch, chin to chest, really firm through the shins, the tops of the feet, the palms, and we flow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Of course, you can take these at your own pace. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, forward. And exhale back. We're going to come into neutral spine and we're going to challenge the abs. One of my favorite things to do. Curl the toes under and we're going to hover those knees 1 to 2 inches. You want to protract through the shoulders, so draw the shoulders and shoulder blades away from one another. Shaking is good. Don't be afraid of the shake. That's how we build new neural pathways, work into different muscle fibers and tissues. Breathing in and breathing out. Hold for a couple more breaths, but do not hold the breath, please. I don't want anyone passing out. And we're going to exhale into our downward facing dog. So you might have to walk your hands a little bit further. Don't even worry about getting your heels to the mat. It's one of my little pet peeves as a teacher. You can really hurt your Achilles that way. Not everyone's body is meant to be that flexible. So what we're going to do is just press into the insides of the feet. So you're going to come onto the jackknife edge of the feet a little bit and bring the big toes up and the arches up. And that way it's a little bit easier to focus on that part of the feet. So now drop those parts of the feet back down and really focus on the instep. So you're going to feel your calf muscles fire up. Bring your kneecaps to your hip points and press your thigh muscles back into your hamstrings. Press down through the bone under the first finger, the pointer finger, and the thumb. Draw the shoulder blades down the back into the back hip pockets. Soften through the center of the spine and the heart. Look towards the navel. If the heels make it down, great. If not, you're still doing the pose. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling this nice stretch through the arms, the armpits. This is great for your kidneys and your liver, this pose. It's an inversion. Our hips are higher than your head and heart. So if you can't do any other inversions, but you can do this one, this is a good one to practice every day. Breathing in and breathing out. You can tell I like long holds in this pose. So if you're getting a little fatigued, that's okay. Take one more cycle of breath. and come down on the knees. We're gonna bring the big toes together, knees come wide, and we're gonna come all the way down into our wide knee child's pose. You can always have something between your booty and your heels, like a rolled up blanket if your booty tends to stay up higher. Try to soften your armpits down towards the mat, soften the shoulders, all the muscles of the face, really let go here. There's definitely ways to enhance muscular energy here and make it more active, but we want to take a nice passive pose here. So soften, follow your breath. Remember your 3-part breathing. On your last exhalation, we're going to inhale up to all fours. We're going to straighten our right leg back behind us, curl the toes under, and I want you to really flex the heel back. I'm going to move up a little bit because I'm pressing into my plant. So pressing the heel back, you want to feel that stretch through the posterior chain, hamstring and the calf muscle. Breathing in and breathing out. I said this was going to be gentle, and it is a gentle practice, but I am going to challenge you. So from here, you're going to lift that left knee off the mat and hover, and we're going to work into the abs a little bit. You've got this. Keep that protraction through the shoulders. Draw them away from one another. Don't hold the breath. Breathe and exhale, come down. We're going to lift from the heel, so we don't want to come out of the hip line. Lift from the heel, and we're going to raise the left arm forward, look down to protect the head and the neck. So the toes are facing down, and you're really flexing through that heel. And as you flex through the heel, reach the fingertips forward and stretch that right shoulder away from the ear and bring elbow to knee. This is not a crunch. This is for lengthening and strengthening the spine. And bring it back. Come back in. Now, if this is too much for you with the arm, you can leave the left palm planted and you can just do the leg. Zipping it back. We're going to do one more. And zip it back. We're going to take the left palm down. You're going to kickstand the left foot back behind you, and you're going to turn this way. And I'm going to come this way so you can see me better. So deep flexion through that right foot. Think of your legs as your anchor and your arms as your oars, like in a boat. So you create that stability. We're going to bring elbow to knee and work into the obliques and lengthen, elbow to knee and lengthen, elbow to knee and lengthen. We're going to take the right heel to the left butt cheek. Now you might just be here and reaching back and pretending like you're taking a hold. And I promise you, you're still doing the pose. Or you're going to take a hold of the foot. You don't want to bring the foot up like this. You want to keep the ankle in line with the hip. Turn that bottom rib cage and heart to the sky if you can. And you want to pull hand and foot in opposition. So we always have these dynamic oppositional stretches in yoga. Breathing in and breathing out. You're gonna let that go, lengthen back out, and find yourself back on your hands and knees. We're gonna take 3 cat-cows just to put ourselves through the rinse cycle. So coming into cow, finding your cat. We'll do this 2 more times. Last one. Coming into neutral spine, taking that left foot back behind you, deep flexion through the heel. So you're firing up the hamstring and the calf muscle. Breathing in and breathing out. Lift that right knee up. We're gonna hold, Breathing deeply, shaking is good, getting stronger. You gotta challenge yourself to grow. Exhale, drop that down, lift the heel up. Deep flexion, keep the left hip point pointing down and reach the right arm forward. If you need to keep that right hand down for balance, go for it. Otherwise, we're gonna bring elbow towards knee and lengthen. Elbow towards knee and lengthen. Elbow towards knee and lengthen. Drop the right palm down, kickstand the right foot back behind you, plant that firmly through that right palm and follow the left fingertips up. And I'm gonna come over to this side. So once again, you can stretch the arm over the ear, elbow to knee and lengthen, elbow to knee and lengthen. One more time. I love these dynamic movements and incorporating them into yoga, these functional movements. Left heel towards the right butt cheek. Either pretend like you're taking a hold or take a hold. Make sure you keep that heel in line with the hip, bottom rib cage and heart to the sky. And you want to create that opposition between hand and foot. Breathing in and breathing out. This is really wonderful for pelvic health. It's a beautiful heart opener. We're gonna lengthen back out and come back to neutral spine. And this time we're gonna take traditional balasana. So knees close together. And you're gonna drop your chest onto your thighs. And maybe this time your arms come back behind you and the palms flip up. Soften through the shoulders here. Really let go. Connect with that point between the brow onto the mat. Just feel all that energy we stirred up swirling around. I love these moments for pause, for a little bit of integration. Take one more cycle of breath. And we're gonna inhale and come up. And you're gonna find yourself in your Baddha Konasana, but we're gonna come into more of a yin pose. So you're gonna make it bigger. Bring your feet out further away from the pelvis. And you're gonna take your right leg back behind you. Leave your left leg exactly where it is. Bring it back behind you. If you need to have something underneath your foot, so it's gonna look, I'll show you this way. It's gonna look like this. Now, you can have something underneath that back foot. This works deeply into the spleen meridian. Your spleen is connected to your stomach, so working into the inner thighs. And you're gonna come back on a diagonal as far as you can. Now, you might be able to come all the way down on your forearms. Some people can come down on their back. But you're just gonna stay here and hold. If you're up on your palms, stay on your palms. Breathing in and breathing out. Normally we would hold for minutes here. We're not gonna hold for minutes here. When you're looking at your right foot, that heel should be sickled if you can. If not, you can point the toes back. You'll know, your body will kind of just put your foot where it feels most comfortable. If you're on your forearms, you can come back onto your palms. And we're gonna swing that leg around. And we're gonna do the opposite side. And you might notice that the other side is easier. It might feel more rigid. So we're gonna swing that left leg back behind. And now you're gonna come onto an angle. So I'm coming back towards my right hip. And I would stay up high first, see how your body feels. You should really be feeling this all in the inner thigh and the groin. If you can come down on your forearms, go for it. And again, we're just going to take a couple breaths here. You can bring your head back like I am this time, or you can just look straight ahead. So you really want to try to keep that knee down on the left side. And you're going to feel that rotation of the inner thigh downward towards the mat. You might be feeling a lot of deep sensations here, so stay with it. Take one more cycle of breath. If you're on your forearms, you're gonna come back up. Find your Baddha Konasana, and we'll stay in our Baddha Konasana. And like when we were kids in gym class, you can clasp your hands around your toes. You can bring your heels in nice and close to the pelvis. I want you to have a nice tall spine, right? Don't want to be hunched over. And we're gonna fly our little butterfly wings. Breathing in, breathing out, letting go of that tension. You should feel a little bit of a release here in the groin, for sure. We're gonna let that go. And we're gonna come into a toe stand. So you're gonna come on your toes. And I always encourage people to take their fingers and their pinky toes and curl them way under, because the pinky toes are smaller and sometimes they don't like to cooperate. So this does require a certain amount of balance. You're gonna come onto those toes, bring your hands to your heart. If you wanna get really fancy with me, I'm gonna come into eagle arms. This might be enough for you. So if you wanna come into eagle arms, bring the arms out, right under left, warrior arms, and you can stay here or take your double rep. Elbows up, palms away from the face, working into the upper back and the shoulders. So our feet have a lot of meridians in them that are correlated to all the organs, and toes don't really get the stretching and the love that they need. So I'm a big fan of this pose for that reason. And any chance I get to incorporate the upper body, I will. We're gonna open up our arms, take it on the opposite side, left under right, warrior arms. You can do backs of the palms or come palm to palm. If you're like me, I'm starting to get slightly fatigued here. I'm just gonna try to go higher onto my toes to challenge myself. Elbows up, palms away from the face. Breathing in, breathing out. And open up the arms, bring the fingertips down, come to your knees. I do not like this pose at all, but they always say the poses that you don't like, you should probably do more of. All right, so when I taught yoga for athletes, this was a big one, especially for runners, but this is great for hikers. It's great for any athlete, any sport that you play. You're probably really feeling this by now. This is it, this is the pose. The more you lean back, the more you feel it. Some people like to come back onto their fingertips. If you want to be that level of rock star, you could do it. I'm probably not going to be able to hold here for long. This is a tough one. You want your knees to stay down and together. And you're really stretching through the toes. Some people keep their hands at their heart, or you can come straight up. Just a couple more breaths here. Trust me, I'm right there with you. This one is like torture. And here comes the release. Come onto your hands and feet and tap them out, tap them out, tap them out. Let that go. Another one of my favorites. I discovered this one in Yin. This one also is for spleen and stomach on top of other things. So feet are flat, you're on your heels and you're bringing your knees up. We're gonna stretch through the tops of the feet and through the ankles. You're gonna feel this. So for this one, it's the same thing. You can lean back. I like to keep my hands at my heart. You can absolutely keep your fingertips down. This is a really deep stretch. I've had some ankle injuries from when I played sports as a kid, and I was one of those really dumb kids that, you know, just never listened to the doctors and did my own thing and played on severe injuries. And so if you have any type of ankle or foot injury and you can handle it, this is a really good one to do. Soften the shoulders. Stay with your breath. Again, in yin, we'd be holding this for quite a lengthier period of time than we're going to do here. Your feet are going to feel really good, I promise. Take another couple breaths. And let it go. And we're gonna sit off to the side. And if you want to windshield wiper your legs, just to release some of that energy, go for it. And we're gonna come up, open our legs nice and wide. Do something a little different here. You might want to go too wide because we're going to do something a little different. I just discovered this on someone else's channel. I love Yoga with Cassandra. She's probably my absolute favorite yogi YouTuber. Check her out for sure. My practice has always been eclectic. She's very similar, and I really learn a lot from her. So Yoga with Cassandra. Bring your fingertips back behind you, lift your pelvis up and roll it forward if you can manage that. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. You're gonna bring your hands to your heart for this. So we're gonna inhale, center, exhale, forward, hover, come up, and you're gonna bring your left knee down and your right knee down. As you can see, my hips are that tight. I cannot get my right knee down, but that's okay. Inhale, center, exhale, forward, come up, and bring the right knee in and the left knee out. And come to center. Exhale, inhale, center, exhale, rotate the knees forward, and come back. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale the knees out to the sides. You should really be feeling this in the hips. And then we're working through the groin as we fold. Coming up, you'll notice I'm keeping deep flexion in my feet. I'm a big fan of that, but that's not for everybody. So if that's too much for you, come center, exhale down. You can let the feet kind of do what they want to do. And this is our last one. Coming center. This time we're gonna exhale, we're gonna hold. Now, if you have blocks, you can build your house any way you want and rest your forehead down, right? If you don't have blocks, you're gonna walk your fingertips out. Notice how I'm keeping a nice axial extension in my spine. I'm not rounded, right? That would be more yin. So you wanna lead with the heart. Keep looking forward, come to your maximum, plant the palms, and then to relax the head and neck, bring the chin to the chest. Now again, I can always use a block here, and I'm probably going to. And I'm gonna keep my forearms down. This is one of my favorite stretches. And this could look different at 7 in the morning and 7 at night. It's a day-to-day thing, as is all of yoga. Notice where you're holding on here. And breathe. You might feel that continual building of tension in the groin and the inner thigh. So we've moved into spleen season. That's why I'm focusing so much on the spleen. Plus I have spleen issues. Spleen is, like I said, it's connected to the stomach, but it's also connected to the liver. And late summer, we start to go into the time of spleen. So if you're feeling a little bit more lethargic, the spleen has a lot to do with our life force, and it is like a cleanser of the blood. So sweet, you'll be happy to know, is the taste for spleen. So you want to add some more sweet foods into your diet, but that doesn't mean candy. Think about the sweeter root vegetables like pumpkin and squash and sweet potato, maybe even a tiny bit of raw honey. Quinoa is sweeter. So a little bit more of that sweet taste. We're gonna gently come up and we're gonna bring our left forearm into the inside of the left inner thigh. Again, you actually can use a prop for this if you wanted, but if you don't have a prop and this is too much for your body, you can come onto your thigh. Use your body as a prop, which I'm also a big fan of. We're gonna come up and over and take a nice side body stretch. You wanna rotate the bottom rib cage and heart to the sky, working through the side body. Soften the top shoulder, notice where you're holding on. Breathing in and breathing out. And we're gonna come up through center. We're gonna take that onto the opposite side. So you can do whatever you want with this forearm. It can go here, it can go here, up and over, breathing in and breathing out. Try to rotate yourself a little bit more towards the sky. Both sits bones are grounded. If you feel yourself popping up and you're down on the ground, you may wanna bring that forearm up to the thigh. We're gonna come up through center. We're gonna take a nice simple twist. Take the left fingertips onto the right thigh, right fingertips back behind you. I love these nice, gentle twists. Nothing in yoga has to be crazy, right? We always have these oppositional forces of yin and yang, but sometimes those super intense practices are a little exhaustive for the body overall. I'm gonna go to the opposite side, right fingertips on left thigh. So sometimes keeping it simple, keeping it a little bit more passive can be a little more nurturing and nourishing for the body and the mind. Coming back to center. Unless you're in your 20s, then you want a yang all day long. I get it. I'm a midlifer now. We think about things differently. You'll see, kids, when you get there. We're gonna come on to our belly. I love belly work. Belly work's probably my most favorite thing to do. I'm gonna push this. One of my favorite plants, but it's in my way. Sorry, buddy. We're gonna come down, make a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead down. Bring your big toes together and flap your heels out. Create a circuit of energy and just let go here. Don't underestimate the power of rest. These moments for integration or just connection, creating mindfulness, feeling that expansion and contraction of the navel against the mat. Becoming in tune with your own breath, finding ways to soften, noticing where you're holding on so that you can give those parts of the body permission to release. We're going to inhale. We're going to take our right forearm parallel to the top of the mat, and you want to be really stable here because this right arm is going to be your point of power in this pose. So be nice and stable. Take your left heel to the left butt cheek. Take your left hand and take hold of the top of the foot or the ankle. Coming into half Dhanurasana, half bow pose. So you're gonna press into the forearm so that you pull your chest away and lift the knee and the thigh up and press the hand and foot in opposition. This is great for beginners. Make sure you're breathing. And we're gonna exhale and come down. We're gonna take that on the opposite side. So the left forearm is down. You wanna be very stable through here. Take the right heel to the right butt cheek. Take a hold back behind you, top of the foot or ankle. Press the chest away, open up through the heart, and you're gonna lift the knee and the thigh. You might notice you have more space and room on this side, or it might feel more restrictive. Feel that nice opening through the shoulder. And we're gonna exhale and come down. We're gonna go for the full enchilada. If this is not in your practice, then do the forearm on each side. Bring your forehead down first though. Take your heels towards your booty. And I want you to just take a hold at the tops of the feet or ankles and come into this nice thigh stretch. Stretching through the femurs, the quads. Roll the shoulders back so you bring a little bit of the upper body into this. We're gonna prepare for the pose. You can even stay here if you want. So all we do is bring the forehead, nose, and chin up, and we start to lift the thighs and the knees. We press our heart forward, stabilizing through the pelvis. Maybe bring the big toes together. You can use your breath if you want to rock you forward and back. If that's not in your practice, just stay still. If you don't want to keep the toes connected, you can flex through the feet. Nice deep breathing. And then exhale, let everything go. Turn your head to one side, arms come at your side. So I'm on my left ear, flip the palms up. You can create that circuit of energy, bringing the big toes together and the heels out, or you can just let the feet go. So you can feel that that excites the body a little bit. We got the heart rate going. So good for digestion, hormone balance, heart health. We're gonna come back to center. You're gonna clasp your hands behind your back. Keep a little bit of space between the feet. We're gonna lift just the upper body up. Grounding through the pelvis. Try to relax the booty through poses like this. It'll create a lot of crunchiness and pinching in the low back. Really use the breath to get you deeper into the pose. And now if you can, bring the legs into it. Traditionally, feet are together. My body does not work that way. So I like space between my feet. Just point the toes long. Take another cycle of breath. And exhale, let it go. Turn your cheek to the other side. Again, space between the feet, or you can create that circuit of energy, big toes together, heels fall apart, flop open, and just rest. We're gonna come back to center. You're gonna find yourself in a puppy stretch. Booty stays high, curl the toes under, walk the fingertips forward, forehead down. And I love this one to really stretch through the upper body. So gently press those armpits down towards the mat. This is so good for the lymphatic system. We have so much lymph in our armpits. They drain into breast tissues. This is really good for women for breast health. Breathing in and breathing out. Who doesn't love puppy love? And then coming up to a seated posture. We're gonna end with Nadi Shodhana. I'm not gonna do a Shavasana for this. If you'd like to go into Shavasana after the video, go for it. So traditionally, Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril, it's Vishnu Mudra. So pinky and ring finger and thumb stay up, middle finger and pointer finger stay down. That can be very difficult for people. So I usually teach it the cheat sheet way, which is the pinky finger and the thumb. So you want to take a nice cycle of breath through the nose. And then we're going to press the right nostril closed with the thumb. Inhale for 4 through the left. Hold the left closed with the pinky. Open the right and breathe out for 4. Now inhale right for 4. Hold. Exhale left for 4. Inhale 4. Hold. Exhale out the right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Keep going at your own pace now. Wherever you are, we're all going to end exhaling out the left. Once you've done that, bring your hands into your lap. Just notice how you feel. That really balances both hemispheres of the brain. It increases oxygen to the brain, purifies, cleanses the blood. It's great for lungs. It's so good for depression and anxiety, mental clarity. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Be sure to give a like, subscribe to the channel if you'd like more yoga with me. I don't know if I introduced myself in the beginning. My name is Carrie. I'm with Soul Purpose Yoga and Wellness. Let's bring our hands to our heart and take a nice deep bow to our own grace, divinity, and wisdom. Thank you, my friends. Namaste.